All right, let's get right into it. We're about to unpack one of the most influential frameworks for success ever created, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Think of this as a blueprint, a genuine guide to changing how you approach, well, just about everything. But first, let's start with a question. Have you ever had one of those days? You're running around, checking things off a list, answering emails, just busy. But at the end of the day, you collapse on the couch and think, what did I actually do today? It's a common feeling because, as it turns out, being busy and being effective are two totally different things. And here's the problem. We often try to fix that feeling with little life hacks or personality tricks. A new productivity app, a new way to network. Covey calls this the personality ethic. But these are just band-aids. Real, lasting change comes from something deeper, from our character. It's an inside-out approach. To even begin that inside-out work, you need what's called a paradigm shift. So what is that? Well, think about how for centuries everyone knew the sun revolved around the Earth. Then Copernicus came along and shifted that entire paradigm. Everything changed. To become truly effective, we have to be willing to fundamentally change the maps we use to see the world and our place in it. This little fable of the goose and the golden egg perfectly explains what effectiveness actually is. See, P stands for production. That's the golden eggs, the results you want. And PC is your production capability. That's the goose, the asset that actually creates the results. If you get greedy and kill the goose to get all the eggs at once, you get nothing. True effectiveness is all about that P/PC balance. You have to take care of the goose. So, where does this journey begin? It starts with you. It starts with mastering yourself. This first stage is called the private victory. It's about moving from being dependent on others for your happiness or success to being truly independent. And this is so important. Private victories always come before public ones. You've got to get your own house in order first. This whole framework is really a journey along what Covey calls the maturity continuum. We all start out as dependent, right? The first 3 habits are all about achieving the private victory, about becoming independent. That's our first major milestone on this path. So let's jump in with habit number 1, be proactive. This is the absolute foundation. It's the idea that you are the one in charge. You're the driver, not the passenger. Or, as Covey puts it, you are the programmer of your life, not just the program. You write the code. And you can see the difference so clearly here. Reactive people get pushed around by their feelings, by the weather, by what other people do. They blame everything and everyone. Proactive people, though, they're driven by their values. They focus on their circle of influence, the stuff they can actually do something about. And they become, as Covey cleverly says, responsible. They have the ability to choose their response. And this quote just nails it. No matter what happens, the stimulus, there is always a tiny space before you react, and in that space lies your freedom to choose your response. That's your power, and the more you use it, the bigger that space gets. Okay, so once you've embraced that you're in charge, Habit 2 asks a simple question. In charge of what? This is begin with the end in mind. It's about personal leadership. It's about deciding on your destination before you start the journey, so you don't climb the whole ladder of success only to find it's leaning against the wrong wall. At the heart of this habit is a powerful idea. All things are created twice. Think about a house. First, it's a blueprint, the mental creation. Then it's the actual building, the physical creation. Your life is no different. Habit 2 is you drawing your own blueprint. And here's the kicker. If you don't consciously create your own mental blueprint, other people and circumstances will create one for you. Now we get to habit 3. Put first things first. This is where the rubber really meets the road. If habit 1 says you're the creator and habit 2 is the first creation, the blueprint, then habit 3 is the second creation. It's the day-to-day, moment-to-moment practice of making it all happen. And this matrix is the ultimate tool for that. Look, we spend our time in 4 places. Quadrant I is for crises, urgent and important. Quadrant 3 is the stuff that feels urgent but isn't important, like a lot of interruptions. Quadrant 4 is just, well, it's a total time waster. But the secret, the place where effective people live and operate, is Quadrant 2. It's the important stuff that isn't urgent yet. Planning, building relationships, exercising. And this really flips the script on traditional time management. It's not about prioritizing your schedule. It's about scheduling your priorities. It's about carving out time for those big Quadrant 2 rocks first. And that means you have to get really good at saying no to the unimportant stuff so you can give a resounding yes to the things that truly matter.
So once we've achieved that private victory, once we're proactive, have an end in mind, and put first things first, we're ready for the next level. Now we move from me to we. This is the public victory, the journey from independence to interdependence. If we look back at our continuum, you can see the next step. Being independent is great. It's a huge achievement. But the reality is, the greatest successes in life, in our families, in our work, come from working effectively with other people. That's interdependence. And habits 4, 5, and 6 are all about building those kinds of powerful relationships.
So what are these 3 habits? First, we've got think win-win, which is a mindset of mutual benefit. Then there's seek first to understand, then to be understood, the absolute golden rule of communication. And finally, synergize, which is all about creative cooperation. Let's talk about win-win. This isn't just a negotiation tactic, it's a whole philosophy of human interaction. It's rooted in what Covey calls an abundance mentality, the belief that there's plenty of success to go around. It's not about me winning and you losing. It's about us finding a third alternative, a better way that benefits us both. Now, habit 5 is a game changer. Most of us don't really listen. We listen with the intent to reply. We're just waiting for our turn to talk. To really connect and influence people, you have to practice empathic listening. That means genuinely trying to see the world the way they see it. It's giving them psychological air, making them feel truly heard. You have to diagnose before you can prescribe. And when you combine all of this, you get to habit 6, synergize. This is where the magic happens. This is when 1 + 1 = 3 or 10 or even 100. Synergy happens when you genuinely value the differences in people. By bringing different perspectives together, you create amazing new solutions that nobody could have come up with alone. Okay, we've covered 6 incredible habits, but what keeps it all going? What prevents you from just burning out? There's one final habit that wraps around all the others and makes them sustainable. It's the engine of renewal. And that habit is sharpen the saw. The story goes there's a woodcutter frantically trying to saw down a tree. Someone suggests he stop to sharpen his saw, but he says, "I'm too busy sawing." That's what we do. Habit 7 is about taking the time to sharpen your own saw, because your greatest asset in life is you. And sharpening the saw means renewing yourself in 4 key areas. You've got the physical, your body, exercise, nutrition, the mental, reading, learning, keeping your mind sharp, the social and emotional, nurturing your relationships, and finally, the spiritual, connecting with your deepest values, your purpose. You need to invest in all 4 to stand balanced. So you see, this isn't some quick fix or a checklist you do once and you're done. It's an upward spiral of learning, committing, and doing on a higher and higher level. It's a lifelong process. So the only real question left is, which habit are you going to start working on today?